Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto has harem with Hinata, Kurenai, and Kyuubi part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. A 3-year-old boy with bright blonde hair that looked smudged with dirt, bright blue eyes, 3 whisker marks on each cheek, a ragged white shirt and black shorts that looked tight on him was running away from an angry mob of villagers. The boy was Naruto Uzumaki of the Hidden Leaf Village, the strongest village of the shinobi hidden villages, and elemental nations. Naruto ran from the villagers desperately trying to get away from them as they shouted their insults, "Demon brat. Get back here demon. We'll finish what the fourth started." Naruto ran into an alley as a desperate attempt only to come face to face with a brick wall. Naruto turned around pressing himself against the wall sliding into a corner in a fetal position. "Please don't hurt me," cried Naruto with tears falling down his face. The villagers surrounded him when a Anbu appeared. He had spiky hair, a dark blue mask covering his face, black pants, Anbu tattoo on his right arm, Anbu armor, with a tiger mask. Naruto looked up and felt relieved. The Anbu looked at Naruto, and then looked at the mob. "What do you think you're doing?" The mob looked at the Anbu with fear in their eyes, thinking he was going to kill them. The Anbu turned around grabbing Naruto by the throat choking the poor boy. "The boy can easily tell the Hokage on all of you. So it's best to cut those vocal cords of his," said the Anbu in a dangerous tone. Naruto looked at the Anbu in horror as he took out a kunai and slashed him across his throat. Naruto tried to scream, but nothing came out except for his own blood trickling down from his wound. The villagers cheered as some threw sharp rocks and glass shards on the floor cutting his skin. Some surrounded him with the Anbu still holding him and pierced him with kunai knives, pitchforks, and anything that was sharp. Some even brought torches putting out the flame and burned his skin with the embers. Naruto was there crying, praying that someone could save him. "Help me. Someone. Anyone. Please don't let them kill me. What have I done wrong? My chest hurts. I feel like me heart is going to explode," thought Naruto. 4 villagers grabbed some rope and tied them to Naruto's arms and legs as each pulled hard on the rope dislodging his limbs from their sockets. Naruto tried to scream but no voice can be heard since his vocal cords were cut with him just staring into the night sky with his mouth opened. My heart, it hurts," thought Naruto as more tears escaped his eyes. "No one loves me, no one likes me, no friends, no family, no hope, no dream, no life," were the last thoughts of Naruto as the Anbu raised his sword for the final blow when 3 blurs appeared knocking the Anbu back. "Tiger, what do you think you're doing?" demanded a young man about 13 years old wearing the same attire as the Anbu except he was wearing a weasel mask while holding a katana in a defensive stance. The young man was Itachi Uchiha, the young Uchiha prodigy that obtained rank of an Anbu captain recently. The other blur was a beautiful girl about 15 years old with long black hair wearing what resembled a kimono without a right sleeve, a fishnet shirt underneath her kimono, and large white bandages wrapped around her. Her memorizing crimson-red eyes looking at the poor disfigured boy crying his eyes out, the woman was known as the Genjutsu Mistress, and Ice Queen of the Leaf Village, Kurenai Yuhi. The other blur was a purple-haired woman about the same age as Kurenai tied in a pineapple-shaped knot and was wearing a full-body fishnet suit, a short orange skirt, and a tan-colored trench coat and went by the name of Anko Mitarashi. "Is the boy okay?" asked Itachi. Naruto just looked up at the 2 women with fear in his eyes just as his world turned black. The 2 women looked at him as he lost conscious and both started performing medical jutsu best to their knowledge. The women healed some minor bruises, but couldn't stop the bleeding. "Itachi, we need to get him to the hospital and fast. We can't stop the bleeding from his throat," said Anko in a worried tone. Itachi performed 4 shadow clones each grabbing a limb and quickly put them back in their sockets waking the boy once again trying to scream, but no sound would come out and quickly lost conscious due to the pain. Forgive me, Naruto, but I had to place back your limbs. You're lucky I won't tell the Hokage about this. As for you, Tiger, you are hereby relieved of your ninja duties and rank. You are to turn in your mask on my desk by morning or die, said Itachi in a dangerous tone, releasing a large amount of killing intent. The villagers were at least glad that he wouldn't tell the Hokage about the incident. However, I never did say that Kurenai-san and Anko-san could tell, said Itachi, springing his trap, making the villagers worried as the three of them disappeared in a puff of smoke. The next day, Naruto awoke staring at a white ceiling, realizing he was in the hospital and it was late in the afternoon. Just then an upside-down face appeared with a young teen with long black hair in a ponytail, smiling ear to ear with his eyes closed, similar to Naruto's own foxy grin. Well, it looks like Sleepyhead woke up, said the teen cheerfully. Naruto just stared at him with a curious expression. Naruto's nose twitched a little as the young blonde cutely sneezed, dropping his genjutsu, revealing his two little blonde, fox ears, and a large, silver, fluffy ball that was his tail. Well, that's interesting, said the teen, amused, showing his onyx-colored eyes while Naruto was looking at him with fear in his eyes. I'd say it makes you look more adorable. Naruto relaxed a little and was about to ask a question only to find out that his mouth was moving but no sound came out. The doctor said that your vocal cords are severely damaged. It would take years for you to regain your voice even with your amazing healing abilities, since restoring the proper nerve and muscle tissue back into place is very delicate, said the teen. By the way, my name is Itachi Uchiha, identified the teen. Naruto just smiled, revealing two small canines in his mouth, but were still a little larger than his regular teeth. Naruto's stomach gave a loud growl at the moment, causing the small blonde to blush. Hungry How about some of that Ichiraku ramen I hear you love so much? Asked Itachi. Naruto squealed with delight as his giant fur ball of a tail was wagging. Once outside, the boy went into a dark alley and came back with a ragged khaki sheet wrapped around his entire body and covering his head, looking like a wanderer's cloak. Itachi wondered about the boy's action, but shrugged it off when he heard his own stomach growling for food. Itachi and Naruto headed towards Ichiraku Ramen when Itachi noticed the cold stares and activated his Sharingan to ward off anyone who had the idea of attacking the child. Naruto was trying to hide behind his cloak when he noticed Itachi's eyes. Itachi noticed the Naruto's curious look. This is my family's bloodline called the Sharingan, allowing me to copy any jutsu I see, except for other bloodline and summons. The strength of the Sharingan is determined by the tomo in the eye, or the little koma marks. 1 means beginner, 2 means experienced, and 3 means master. There's also a fourth called Mangekyo Sharingan when the 3 little tomo fuse together, allowing me to do 2 powerful jutsus, Tsukuyomi, a powerful genjutsu that can mentally damage an opponent, and produce a black flame called Amaterasu. However, I don't want to activate the 4th level because then I would have to kill a loved one, and I hate killing no matter how good or bad a person is. Itachi noticed the boy's sad and scared face and quickly decided to change the topic. The only thing that rivals the Sharingan is the Byakugan, or the people with white eyes. The Byakugan can magnify a person's vision, see through solid object and everything around them in a near 360-degree radius, and can see through a person's inner chakra coils, explained Itachi as Naruto was hanging on to every word, looking at him glossy-eyed. Itachi chuckled at how the boy was easily amused. Once they entered the stand, the duo were greeted by Tyuki Ichiraku and his 12-year-old daughter Ayame. Well, if it isn't my number 1 customer and Itachi. What can I get you? Greeted Tyuki. Hello Tyuki-san, I would like a pork ramen, said Itachi. What about you Naruto-kun? Asked Ayame. Naruto just stared at her, looking depressed, making Ayame curious, wondering if she said something. There was an attack on him last night when an Anbu appeared, slitting his throat and severely damaged his vocal cords, explained Itachi. Tyuki was fuming every time there was an attack on Naruto, What is it with these idiots? He's just a kid, for God's sake. I swear if I had more money I would adopt him on the spot. So why don't you? Asked Itachi. Sigh. I would if I could, but every time I go to the orphanage they nearly triple or quadruple the price for adoption papers. Plus when I went to the Hokage, every time I ask for adoption papers, a council member barges in babbling some nonsense about a paper mistake and need to retype the entire thing, grabs all the paper including my adoption paper and shred them, or his secretary would tell me he's busy and need an appointment and threatens me to call Anbu if I don't leave, explained Kyuubi. Ayame was just cradling Naruto, who seems to like the touch since his ears were down and his eyes closed, trying to soak up her warmth, listening quietly to her heartbeat. Plus since people know he likes to eat here, they either check to see if he's here or not, and if he is they leave, or avoid the stand completely. I even lowered my prices just so he can eat. So the only thing I can do is help hide him if he's near with a mob behind him, and provide him a place to sleep if they ambush him in his apartment. Itachi looked at the small boy who had apparently fallen asleep in Ayame's arms with tears in his eyes. Tyuki-san, you might not be able to adopt him, but maybe I can, said Itachi. What do you mean? Asked Ayame. I'm going to talk to my parents to see if I can adopt him. Besides, I'm pretty sure my little brother Sasuke and Naruto would be the best of friends. But right now I think the little one could use some food in his stomach, said Itachi. Ayame gently woke up Naruto and Tyuki placed Itachi's pork ramen and 10 different varieties of ramen for Naruto. By the time Itachi was done he looked at Naruto with his eyes nearly popping out, considering that Naruto was done with his 10th bowl. Naruto rubbed his eyes, yawning as Itachi picked him up when Kurenai and Anko walked in. Kurenai-san, Anko-san, what are you doing here? I thought you would be in the dango stand right now, said Itachi, placing Naruto's hood above his head to cover his ears. The owner was sick and decided to temporarily close the stand, so we decided to come here. Besides, we hear that the owner is like a father figure to Naruto and wanted to thank him, explained Anko. Well, I'm honored, ladies, said Tyuki. Itachi, who is that you're carrying, and why are you placing a hood? Asked Kurenai. Itachi started panicking as Naruto moved his head, rubbing his eyes again, knocking down the hood, revealing his ears. Kurenai and Anko just stared at him. He's so cute, yelled the two girls, gently touching Naruto's ears, making him giggle. Sigh. I thought you were going to attack or something, said Itachi, relieved. Why, he's just a little boy, even if he does have cute little ears, said Anko. Besides, it's not his fault for having the fox sealed inside him. The ears must be a side effect like his whisker marks. I wonder if I should tell them about his tail, thought Itachi, thinking it was a bad idea. Well, come on Naruto, it's late and you should get some rest, said Itachi, placing the hood over Naruto's head again. Hey old man, give me a shrimp ramen, said Anko. I would like a chicken ramen. We're going to follow Itachi really quick and then come back, said Kurenai. The trio left towards Naruto's apartment only to be greeted by the sight of a rundown building. Inside was worse since the place was mostly clean, but had torn wallpapers, holes signifying kunai marks on the opposite wall of the front window. The kitchen sink was full of instant ramen, but the bedroom was at least decent for him to sleep. Itachi placed Naruto gently on his bed, pulling the cover over him. Good night Naruto, said Itachi in a fatherly tone. Anko and Kurenai gently kissed him on his forehead and left the little boy to sleep. Naruto woke up, checking his surroundings, realizing he was in his apartment. When he looked at the floor, there was a little stuffed red fox with a tag that said, "To Naruto, from a friend." Naruto cautiously went up to the stuffed fox on all fours with his fluffy tail sticking out. He poked it gently and quickly ran under his bed, waiting for it to explode or something. He poked his head out cautiously, approaching it again and nudged it again, quickly stepping back, sitting with his legs folded. Naruto smiled happily and crouched down, wagging his fluffy tail, and pounced on the little stuffed fox, hearing a girl giggle coming from his room. He stopped for a minute, but decided to shrug it off and resumed his playing with his first and favorite toy. Up in a tree, Kurenai and Anko were watching Naruto with binoculars, keeping an eye on Naruto, making sure he was safe. Ah, he has a cute fluffy fur ball of a tail. Itachi is so dead for not telling us, said Anko. Random street. Itachi was walking along only to sense a cold, dark feeling directed at him. Brr, I sense murder, but from who? Anko. No, she's actually pretty nice once you get to know her. Creepy, but nice. I get the feeling she found out something I was hiding from her, but what? Back in the tree, the girls continued to watch him until Kurenai heard a girly squeal. Squeal? I just want to go down there and pet his little tail, squealed Anko. Wow, Anko-chan, I don't think I ever saw you this girly before, said Kurenai, amazed. What? I have my moments. I am a girl after all. I wonder who gave him that stuffed fox though, said Anko. Probably someone who cares for him like us, said Kurenai. The girls continued to watch Naruto continue playing with his toy. Naruto's apartment. Naruto tossed the fox with his legs and arms only to catch it while rubbing his ears against the toy's soft fur. Naruto then jumped back and pounced on his toy again, giggling and wagging his tail. Up in the tree. Just one touch. Just one touch. Come on, Kurenai-chan, it's not fair, screamed Anko, now chained to the tree trunk, thrashing. Sorry, Anko-chan, but I had to hold you back no matter how much we want to touch it. Then how come you're not tied up? You just want to touch that cute fluffy tail by yourself. On the contrary, said Kurenai, showing a leg braced attached to the tree trunk with a chain as well. I tied myself up when I tied you up. You're no fun, said Anko, crying waterfall tears. 5 years later, an 8-year-old Naruto was walking down with a ragged-looking cloak and a dark blue face mask covering his face. People today seem to be whispering amongst themselves, but they weren't about him. Did you hear? Itachi Uchiha killed his entire clan last night. Yeah, plus I hear the only survivor was his little brother Sasuke. After the massacre he just left the village. Naruto's eyes widened at what he had heard with his heightened hearing. Itachi had failed to adopt Naruto since his father hated him for being a demon. Itachi had tried and tried again, but to no effort, even with his mother's plea to her husband that he was only a child. Itachi just gave up and decided to support Naruto by giving him half of his payment for every mission he went to help him buy anything he needed. Naruto raced towards the Hokage tower, racing past the secretary and ninja following him. Naruto slammed open the doors, turning around and quickly closing them, barricading the doors with his body. Naruto, what are you doing here? Asked the Hokage. Inside his office was another boy about his age that looked like a miniature Itachi but with shorter hair, and a few inches taller than him. Naruto smiled widely only to be thrown to the floor with 4 Jonin came in, holding Naruto down. That's quite enough. Release him, ordered the Hokage. But Hokage-sama, I will not repeat myself, so do as I say or face Ibiki and Anko. Just so you know, Anko and Ibiki have taken quite a shine to the boy, and if they find out one of you harmed as much as a hair on him, their sessions would be 10-folds than what they normally do, said the Hokage in a dangerous tone. The Jonin were sweating bullets thinking about Ibiki and Anko, and left quietly. Now then, Naruto, I'll be with you in a second. I just need to talk to this boy, said the Hokage as his hand gestured towards the boy. Naruto pulled out a photograph from underneath his cloak showing he was wearing a white shirt with black baggy pants, and gave the photo to the Hokage. The Hokage took the picture, puzzled at Naruto's actions. When the Hokage took the picture, his eyes widened at what he saw and looked at the miniature Itachi. Sasuke, are you sure you saw Itachi killing your family? Asked the Hokage. Yes, sir. I saw it with a genjutsu he called Tsukuyomi, said the boy known as Sasuke. Well, don't believe it. Your brother was framed for murder. Thank you, Naruto. You just saved an innocent man from a horrible fate, said the Hokage. What do you mean, Hokage-sama? Asked Sasuke. Look at this photo, said the Hokage, handing Sasuke the photo. Sasuke looked at the photo only to see Tsuki Ichiraku smiling ear to ear, hugging his daughter with one arm and hugging a smiling Itachi Uchiha that could rival Tsuki's smile, with a peace sign on his right hand, and carrying an 8-year-old Naruto with a peace sign on his left hand inside the ramen stand. Sasuke was confused until he looked at the date and time on the bottom left-hand corner of the photo. Sasuke's eyes widened, realizing that the date and time was during the massacre had started, realizing that the ramen stand and the Uchiha complex were too far away. Even if Itachi did perform a shadow clone jutsu, it was still too far even for him. But how? Asked a shocked Sasuke. Well, it could be that someone was spying on your brother for some time, learning his movement, combat strategies, and use any conflict that he had to turn it against him so he could get the blame. Whoever did it was probably just biding his time to strike. As for the Tsukuyomi, it is believed that there is a similar technique when a person just focus a large amount of killing intent into their eyes and mix it with a high-level genjutsu, making it seem that the target just saw his, or her own death, death of others, or both. It could be that this person used that on you, making it seem like the technique. For the eyes, it could be that he developed a contact lens that resembles the Sharingan, since transformation jutsu doesn't copy bloodlines, explained the Hokage. Sasuke was shocked at what he heard, considering whoever killed his clan took every consideration and detail down to the last second to frame his brother. Sasuke, said the Hokage, pulling Sasuke out of his thoughts, your brother was a good man and saved Naruto here countless of times. He even considered adopting him, but alas, your father had such a stubborn pride, always lusting for more power, never accepting him. Sasuke, your brother never did want power, and was always pushed by your father and the Uchiha elders. That's why I always hear him arguing with father and the others, said Sasuke. I'm guessing your brother was with Naruto the whole time, said the Hokage, looking at Naruto, who just nodded his head, signifying he was right in his assumption. Thank you, Naruto-san, for clearing my brother's name. I would have probably been driven mad and would stop at nothing to seek power to kill him, said Sasuke, bowing at Naruto. Naruto tugged at the Hokage's robes, gaining his attention, and pointed at his stomach, tracing the seal. Are you sure, Naruto? Asked the Hokage as Naruto nodded yes with determination in his eyes. Very well then, said the Hokage, looking at Sasuke, who was confused. Sasuke, what do you know of the Kyuubi no Kitsune, the nine-tailed fox? Asked the Hokage. Well, the fourth Hokage was the one who killed it, said Sasuke. Well, that's not entirely true. The fourth Hokage couldn't kill the demon, so instead he decided to seal it. However, he had to seal it inside someone whose chakra coils hadn't been developed. That someone was a baby, and that baby is here standing next to you, Naruto Uzumaki, said the Hokage. Sasuke's eyes widened and looked at Naruto, giving his foxy smile after pulling down his mask, but he's just a normal kid. Yes, he is. However, the villagers don't see that and think he's the demon himself. Naruto has survived countless assassination attempts, during which one had damaged his vocal cords when he was 3. Luckily, over the years he's managed to make some noise and is now able to whisper some words, and has found acceptance in several people, one of which was your brother. Itachi came here one day asking me to be Naruto's personal bodyguard, with the exception that he would only do short S-class and A-class missions to give half the profit to Naruto. Chuckle, your brother came here last night saying he wanted to introduce the two of you to see if he could give Naruto a playmate, said the Hokage, smiling, recalling the event. Naruto removed his hood, revealing his fox ears and a long silver fox tail sticking out of his cloak. Well, it would seem that the seal gave him more than one side effect. I'm guessing that Itachi knew. Naruto just nodded, wagging his tail. The Hokage just laughed at Naruto's gesture when Sasuke interrupted. Naruto-san, thank you for everything. Naruto just smiled and took out his hand, gesturing a handshake that Sasuke gladly took. Naruto, there's something I want to discuss with you. Sasuke is more than welcome to stay as well, said the Hokage, going to the picture of the fourth Hokage on the wall behind his desk, revealing a safe behind the picture. The Hokage took out 4 scrolls, 3 of which were blue, yellow, red, and the fourth was just a regular green scroll, and placed them on the table. Now Naruto, I want to tell you about your parents who eventually left me a scroll instructing me to give these to you on your 8th birthday for some reason instead of 16. Your father was Minato Namikaze, the Leaf's own Yellow Flash, the 4th Hokage himself. As for your mother, she was Kushina Uzumaki, one of the Leaf's best medical specialists who trained under one of my student, Tsunade Senju. She was known as the Leaf's angel for always treating everyone, enemy, ally, or indifferent, with kindness, and was the gentlest lady anyone has ever met, making her look like an angel. Sadly, your mother died after you were born, but lived long enough to give you your name. Your father died after sealing the Kyuubi inside you, said the Hokage. Naruto was shocked hearing that his hero, the 4th Hokage, was actually his father and had a kind and gentle mother. Naruto took in the information, falling to his knees as he started crying tears of joy and sorrow. The green one explains your father's bloodline limit, the Rugen, or Dragon's Eye, with some photos of your parents and their last words to you. These 3 were your father's swords, though he instructed me not to assign anyone to teach you how to use them, but who am I to argue with Minato's logic? The Hokage gave Naruto the scroll, who was crying, once again bowing to the Hokage, showing he was grateful. Naruto, Sasuke, I suggest you run along now, you don't want to be late on your first day of the Ninja Academy, said the Hokage. Both boys bowed in respect and left the Hokage tower, heading towards the academy. Itachi, if only you can see this, you would realize that your wish for your brother and Naruto to be friends has come true, thought the Hokage out loud, looking out the window at the 2 boys. Later that night, Naruto went to bed only to dream that he was in a sewer. He heard someone crying and decided to follow the voice. When heard the voice becoming louder, he found himself in front of giant gates that was being held by a small piece of paper with the kanji for seal. He looked through the bar and saw a girl crying. Excuse me, are you alright? Asked Naruto, surprised that he had his voice. The girl turned around, flinching at the sound of his voice, only to cry harder, whimpering, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, it's all my fault. What's your fault? The girl came closer to the bar, only to reveal a beautiful woman in her early 20s with pale skin, long red silk hair that reached her mid-back, tied in a ponytail, crimson red eyes that rivaled Kurenai's eyes, and was wearing a white kimono that showed off her curves yet still looked decent. Naruto then realized that she had 2 red fox ears above her head like his, and had 9 blood-red foxtails with white tips. Naruto stared at the woman with wide eyes as only one word that escaped his mouth, beautiful. The woman blushed at his statement. Thank you, stuttered the beauty. Are you an angel? Asked Naruto. No, I'm a demon, the Kyuubi no Kitsune to be exact. That's impossible, you're too beautiful to be Kyuubi. I'm not lying, I really am the Kyuubi, said the woman, looking down as more tears escaped her eyes. So why did you attack the village? Asked Naruto. I didn't mean to. You see, there was this man with yellow snake eyes by the name of Orochimaru who woke me up and wanted to steal my powers. He put a genjutsu on me, but it backfired, causing me to go into my primal state, thinking I was defending myself against the villagers, said the Kyuubi in a depressed voice. Naruto slipped between the bars and hugged the Kyuubi. Kyuubi flinched as he hugged her, only to hug him back. He's not afraid of me. Does he trust me? Thought the Kyuubi. I don't care what you call yourself, but to me you're one of my first friends and my angel who saved me from my pain, said Naruto, remembering all those time that his wounds healed with a red chakra that emitted from his body. The Kyuubi was looking at him glossy-eyed. Cerulean blue eyes met with crimson red eyes, as if each stared into each other's soul as the gap between them closed when their lips met. The kiss lasted for several seconds until both broke their kiss as the Kyuubi snuggled into Naruto's chest. Naruto-kun, do you remember your first toy? Yes. Well, It was I who created the toy with my chakra as a way to try to brighten your day and make the burden easier. You look so cute the way you pounced it. It reminded me of a little kid playing with a little toy, said the Kyuubi, smiling, making Naruto blush. I still have it. Sometimes I still play with it. It was my first and favorite toy, said Naruto, hugging Kyuubi tighter. Kyuubi-chan, is there any way to release you, even if it's for a little while? Asked Naruto, stroking her hair with his claw-like hands, making the Kyuubi purring, enjoying the feeling. There is a way to release me into a physical body, but still keep most of my powers still within you, explained the Kyuubi, nuzzling Naruto's neck. What is it? You have to rip the seal outside the gate in half. That should give me a physical body on the outside, allowing me to share your bloodline, and share the same amount of chakra you release. Kyuubi-chan, once outside, can you train me how to do some kitsune attacks? Sure thing, Naruto-kun, and by the way, my name is Kira Yoko, said Kyuubi with happiness in her voice as their tails intertwined around each other, with both falling asleep inside Kyuubi's cage. 5 years later, Naruto woke up, rubbing his eyes, groaning at waking up so early in the morning when he realized that today was the day of his graduation exam. Naruto's tail had grown longer with silver fur and white tip, and now had silver highlights in his blonde hair that reached past his shoulders that he tied in a ponytail. Over the years, Naruto had regained his voice, but was still mostly quiet, and had learned that his Rugen was similar to the Sharingan and Byakugan. The Rugen is able to copy any jutsu including bloodlines, but for a limited time, and a full 360 degrees without a blind spot. The Rugen looked similar to the Sharingan, only it was gold instead of red, and had silver tomo instead of black, with 2 silver triangles around the pupil, one facing up, and the other facing down. Like the Sharingan, the Rugen also has a Mangekyo Rugen where the tomo fused together while the triangles moved toward the edge of the iris of the eye, with 3 ultimate techniques. The first is the Hurricane Dragon. A dragon made of wind that can absorb any attack at it and send it right back to its target 100 folds, along with Category 5 hurricanes that can tear an opponent to pieces in mere minutes. The second is the Roaring Phoenix. A large phoenix appears, stretching its wings, emitting a large screech that sends a large heat pulse, burning the target severely, and then swoops down, incinerating an opponent in seconds. And finally, the Lightning Howl. A lightning wolf-like creature with a horn appears, striking swift and quick at its target, and would never give up its prey until it was dead. This stage is reached once the Rugen fully matures. The other scrolls had his father's blades, each with its own affinity. A blue katana that could emit winds that could slice and create tornadoes by the name of Tempest, a red double-edged sword that emits a large whip of flames, and send a large flame attack at an opponent by the name of Blaze, and a yellow rapier that emits a large electric pulse when it's about to strike hard, and a seeking electric attack at an opponent by the name of Spark. Naruto also knew several kitsune attacks thanks to Kira's training, and learned basic kenjutsu of the fox style since Kira was a swordswoman herself. Naruto got out of bed only to find a girl about his age with large C-cup, a large shirt that was her pajama, long red hair with 2 fox ears that complemented her face, and a long red fox tail with a white tip. Naruto softly chuckled as he bent down and kissed her on the lips. The girl stirred and moaned passionately, wrapping both her arms around Naruto's neck. Both teens broke the kiss and stared into each other's eyes. Morning, Vixenheim. Morning, Foxy-kun. Naruto and Kira had gotten close to each other that they had become lovers, but had yet to have with each other. Why don't you go up and take a shower while I go make breakfast? Okay, Foxy-kun, I still can't believe you became an incredible chef. What can I say? Trial and error is a good method of learning, said Naruto as Kira gave him a quick peck on the lips and headed towards the shower. Naruto made eggs, bacon, sausage, and French toast as Kira came out wearing a red shirt with black baggy shorts, and a weapons pouch on her right thigh as Naruto was serving orange juice. Both quickly ate and Naruto took a quick shower while Kira washed the dishes. Naruto came out wearing a dark blue shirt with a white Uzumaki spiral on the back, black baggy shorts, black sweatbands, and 2 weapons pouch on both his thighs. Ready, Kira Heim? Yep. I just finished, said Kira. Naruto performed a ram seal and quickly did the only genjutsu he knew to hide his features and swords, and put on a red cloak, placing the hood over his head, and placing his 3-sword over his right side as Kira shifted her form into a little red fox and jumped on Naruto's shoulder, wrapping her tail around his neck like a scarf. We have to stop by the Hokage Tower first. The old man said he had something important to tell me and Sasuke-kun. Plus I think I should tell him about us, said Naruto. Very well then, Foxy-kun, I won't stop you. Maybe I can clear my name with him, said Kira. Naruto jumped from rooftop to rooftop, heading towards the Hokage Tower. Hokage Tower. I have an appointment with the Hokage, said Naruto in a monotone voice towards his secretary, who just scowled at him and led him through, fearing her life and job. Once inside, he saw that Sasuke was already inside, sitting in front of the Hokage wearing a dark blue shirt with a high collar and the Uchiha fan on the back, white sweatbands and leg warmers, white baggy shorts, and a weapons pouch on his right thigh with bandages underneath. Naruto just in time. Please grab a seat, said the Hokage, gesturing the seat next to Sasuke. Now then, the reason why I called you here is because since both of you are the last of your clans, therefore both of you must marry at least 4 women in order to be considered as part of the council in the future and as head of your clans according to our law, said the Hokage. Great. Just great. If someone told everybody in our class, the girls would swarm over me like moths to a flame, said Sasuke. The Hokage looked at him confusedly and turned his attention towards Naruto for an explanation. Fangirls, said Naruto, making the Hokage understand completely now. Hey old man, there's something I've got to tell you, said Naruto, scratching the back of his head. What is it, Naruto? Asked the Hokage. Well, how do I put this? I kind of made contact with the Kyuubi, said Naruto. What? Screamed the Hokage, quickly performing a series of hand seals, making the room temporarily glow blue, then back to normal. There now, no one would listen in on us. Naruto, how did you make contact? Tell me everything you discuss, and don't leave any detail. He might try to trick you into freeing him, said the Hokage, worried. Well, for starters, he is actually a she, and I asked her why she attacked the village when she told me that a man by the name of Orochimaru tricked her by placing a genjutsu on her, but it backfired, causing her to go into her primal state and attacking the village thinking she was defending herself, explained Naruto. Just like Minato thought. Well, except for the Kyuubi being a girl part, thought the Hokage. She's really quite gentle and caring. In fact, she gave me my fist toy, which is a little stuffed fox. When I first met her, she was crying for me, for my pain and suffering. All those time of me being alone with no one to help me, she really did care for me. I guess that's how we fell in love with each other. She's like my angel, said Naruto, thinking out loud, causing the little fox to blush, but no one realizes since her fur was red. Didn't see that one coming. Well then, Naruto, since you trust her, I guess I can trust her too for now, but just to be safe, keep this between the 3 of us, said the Hokage. Orochimaru, how could you? You ruined a boy's life for your own ambitions and lust for power. Lust for power. Could it be that? Yes, it has to be. There's no other explanation. He was the only one who was able to perfect the technique. I've been so blind. Sarutobi, you old fool, your age is catching up to you. Thank you, Sarutobi-sama, said a mysterious female voice. Who said that? Asked the Hokage in a surprised tone. Me, Hokage-sama, the little fox on Naruto-kun's shoulder, or as you like to call me, the Kyuubi no Kitsune, said Kira, wagging her tail. The Hokage looked surprised and was about to say something when Kira interrupted him. Don't worry, Naruto-kun has most of my powers inside him, so technically I'm still sealed. I just have a physical body, that's all, and have access to the same amount of chakra that Naruto-kun can use. Also, I would like it if you would call me Kira, my real name, instead of my title, said Kira in a polite and gentle tone. The Hokage looked at Kira surprisingly and chuckled lightly. You really are gentle. Thank you, said Kira as Naruto scratched her behind her ears making her purr. Oh, by the way, Sasuke, I also want to thank you for being kind to Naruto-kun. As a reward, I would like to summon an old friend to give you some of his powers to make you a half-demon wolf just like Naruto-kun is a half-demon fox. That is if you accept, said Kira. Sure, why not? I was a little jealous of Naruto's tail since it seems pretty handy in some situations, said Sasuke blushing. Sarutobi-sama, I also want you to approve. I don't want to do it unless you agree to avoid any political issue with anyone, said Kira. Yes, for you see, if my suspicions are correct, Orochimaru wasn't the only one who disturbed you and ruined Naruto's life. He could have also killed Sasuke's family since now I just realized that he's the only one to have ever perfected that jutsu that Sasuke described. My old age is catching up to me, said Sarutobi crossing his arms. If you want, I can reverse time for a little while to revert you back about 40 years old or so, said Kira making Sarutobi liking her every second. However, I can only do this once. So you can reverse time for a limited time, but you can only do it once. Asked Sarutobi. Yes, it was a gift from the Shinigami as a birthday present. If you ask me, he just forgot and did that as a cover-up, said Kira. Also Naruto-kun and I cannot die of old age or disease, and would stop aging about 21 years of age or so, but we can still die of being stabbed, poison, or anything that kills, explained Kira. Well then shall we begin? Said Kira. Sarutobi grabbed hold of Sasuke and Naruto and disappeared in a swirl of leaves. The trio appeared in a secluded forest area where Kira jumped down of Naruto's shoulder. Now then, I would like the three of you to keep my identity and appearance a secret, said Kira receiving a nod from the trio. Kira shifted into her human form, shocking the trio at how beautiful she looked. No matter how many times she does that, I'm still amazed at how she looks, said Naruto, causing Kira to blush, making her look more beautiful. Kira performed a series of hand signs ending with the dog seal, canine calling jutsu. A large puff of smoke covered the area and there was a large wolf with large black claws, black fur, yellow eyes with silted pupils, 9 long tails, and had an air of grace and pride. Whistle, wow. Now that's impressive, said Sasuke. Black hair, black eyes, fan symbol, you must be an Uchiha. Though you do have excellent taste in creatures, said the wolf. Darcia, nice to see you again, how's the missus and cubs? Said Kira wagging her tail. Well, if it isn't Kira Yoko of the Fox clan. Last I heard you were sealed inside a baby. The Shinigami was deeply upset that he had to do that. Though he sensed it wasn't your fault and decided to spare that human's soul by not eating him. The family is doing great, but the cubs still refuse to replace me when I retire, and surprisingly your brother is not a half-bad pack leader, but still wet behind the ears. Though I'm sure he would give back the title to you since he looks up to his big sister, said the wolf known as Darcia. Darcia, I was wondering if you could share your power with Sasuke here, said Kira pointing at Sasuke. You see, his clan was murdered by the same person who caused me to go berserk. He must be incredibly strong in order to cause me to do that. Normally I would reject this idea, but if he did that to you, then he will face the wrath of the entire canine alliance. Fox, wolf, coyote, dog, jackals, and dingo, growled Darcia. Just then 5 great puffs appeared, as the head of the rest of the canine clans appeared. After the smoke cleared, there was a large coyote, dog, jackal, dingo, and fox surrounding the 3 ninja and Kira. The coyote was smaller than Darcia with brown fur and hazel eyes that held gentleness in it, powerful legs, and sharp claws. The jackal had a khaki-colored fur with black fur on top and matching black eyes, and was about the same size as the coyote, but had larger pointed ears. The dog had grayish-black fur with a white underbelly resembling a husky with larger claws than the other animals for some reason, and had blue eyes like Naruto's. The dingo had a light brownish-red color with a white underbelly with larger fangs. Each animal had 9 tails except for the fox that had 7 tails. Sis. Is that really you? Asked a 7-tailed fox. Hello little bro, it's good to see you again, said Kira. The fox shifted into a little boy about the same age as Kira with red hair, ears, and tail, green eyes, and wearing a red kimono running up to hug her. What happened to you? You look my age, said the boy. It's a long story, but allow me to introduce all of you. Kira turned to the trio, Naruto-kun, Sasuke, Sarutobi-sama. This is the Canine Alliance. Darcia of the Wolf Clan, Tobo of the Coyote Clan, Sarah of the Dog Clan, Aaron of the Jackal Clan, Miharu of the Dingo Clan, and of course my little brother Hiroshi of the Fox Clan. The trio bowed in respect as each of the canine returned the gesture. Hiroshi cleared his throat and spoke in a clear voice. I, Hiroshi of the Fox Clan, hereby give power and title as head of the Fox back to my sister Kira Yoko. We of the Canine Council accept as long as Kira wishes to obtain the title once again. Should she refuse, Hiroshi Yoko shall remain head of the Fox Clan, said Aaron. I gladly accept the title as head of the Fox Clan under the condition that Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze be considered my mate and be named head when he reaches his 9th tail, said Kira. Same old vixen, but still wonderful to see you again Kira-chan. I was really worried when we all heard the news, said Tobo. Tobo, we have more urgent matters to attend. Apparently there is a man who is strong enough to handle one of our own. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, step forward and drop your genjutsu, said Darcia. Naruto was surprised that Darcia knew about the genjutsu, but quickly remembered that canines have a good sense of smell. Naruto dropped his illusion, causing everyone of the canines to gasp. Silver fur, so the legends are true about the legendary silver fox that holds untold power, but how? And why a half-breed? Said Sarah. That's easy. It's because of his bloodline mixed with my powers sealed inside him. Through our connection he does have untold power, which also allows me to share his bloodline and power. He would also make a great leader someday, plus I fell in love with him for being a kind and gentle person. Also he will need more than one mate according to the laws of this village to restore his bloodline, said Kira, closing her eyes with a blush. It seems you really do love this boy. I agree to the conditions, said Miharu. The others quickly agreed when Kira interrupted again. Also, this boy has seen suffering beyond what any living creature has ever seen. I give each of you permission to tap into my memories to witness what he has suffered throughout the years, said Kira. Kira and the rest of the canines closed their eyes as different colored chakra engulfed her as each visibly flinched as they watch all the beatings, pain, and suffering Naruto suffered, as well as the kindness and salvation of Itachi, Sasuke, the 2 Kunoichi Jonin, Tuki and Ayame, and the love of Kira. This boy is lucky to have his sanity intact, and shows a great love to you Kira. You really do know how to choose a mate. Are you sure you're alright with him having more than one mate? Asked Miharu. Yes, as long as they love him like me, said Kira, blushing once again. I assure you I have done everything in my power to protect Minato's son. However, every time a good man like Tsuki Ichiraku, or Itachi Uchiha try to adopt him, my council decide to step in, making excuses to sabotage their efforts. I would have gladly adopted him, but I fear that if I do, the council would commit mutiny to overthrow me, and replace me with someone to kill the boy and abolish my law that protects him, said the Hokage. Minato. So the boy already holds some great power already. I thought I recognized that red blade. It's no other than Blaze, my older brother's sword, said Darcia, shocking everyone. That blade was forged from his fang, infusing his powers within it. That must mean that the other two belong to the Falcon clan and the Dragon clan. These two clans had long held an alliance with all of us, said Tobo. The spirits of the swordsman must still lie dormant within the sword's power, but have yet to awaken. A man by the name of Minato Namikaze found all three swords and quickly mastered their power, releasing their true forms. He must have passed it on to his son. You must be the Hokage according to Kira's memories. We extend a hand of gratitude towards you, and we understand your position, said Darcia, turning his attention toward Sasuke. Sasuke stepped forward. Sasuke walked forward feeling nervous being surrounded by giant dogs. Sasuke Uchiha, under the consideration of Kira Yoko, how do you feel about Naruto Namikaze? Asked Darcia. He's like a brother to me. He helped clear my brother's name of killing my entire clan. If he hadn't, I probably would be lusting for power right about now. Since my brother wanted to introduce me to him when he was little, he assumed we would be the best of friends. Itachi Nissen was right in his assumption, and would help him to return to the village and help avenge our clan by bringing this murderer to justice. My family only lusted for power, but my mother was gentle and caring, and that's how I plan to restore my clan, with love and respect. For you see, people see me as the last Uchiha, when in fact I am the first of the new, said Sasuke, growing more confident in himself. That is the right answer. Sasuke Uchiha, I bestow upon you my powers and hereby name you heir to the Uchiha Wolf clan, proclaimed Darcia. Dark chakra emitted from Darcia engulfing Sasuke and quickly disperses. Sasuke was standing there with two gray wolf ears, gray highlights in his longer hair that reached past his shoulders, clawed hands and feet, two long canine teeth, a gray tail, and the Sharingan active with two tomo in each eye. I have activated you family's bloodline, removing the affinity that your life has to be in danger to awaken it, and you will reach your Mangekyo Sharingan once your eyes fully mature without killing a loved one. This trait will pass on to your cubs, explained Darcia. Naruto, Sasuke, our offspring do not wish to take our place as head. But since we see how much power a half-breed possess, and to respect our children's wishes, we would like for you two to find suitable candidates that you deem worthy in your eyes to replace us as head, and the future Canine Alliance leaders. Once you choose, summon as to which would benefit a clan, and the current head would name him or her worthy enough, said Eren. Both boys nodded their heads as Sarutobi walked up. I would like to thank you for all you've done. These two boys have suffered great hardships, but found salvation among you, and themselves. I could never thank you enough, bowed the Hokage in respect. Think nothing of it, Sarutobi. Besides, Enma the Monkey King spoke highly of you towards his clan and the Primate Alliance when the entire summons get together, said Tobo smiling. Hiroshi, tell our clan that I'm all right, and that I'm happy here with the man I love, said Kira, patting her little brother's head. Okay, sis, said Hiroshi, turning his attention to Naruto. Please look after my sister Naruto-sama. Sasuke here, said Darcia as dark chakra emitted from him materializing into a giant scroll. This is the wolf summoning contract strictly for your mates and children. If anyone else tried to sign it, the blood would slide right off. I would like you to carry it, and sign your name on it with blood from the hand you wish to summon. The hand seals are dragon, snake, rabbit, tiger, and dog, said Darcia. Sasuke laid the scroll on the ground and opened it, biting his right thumb, signing his name in the first slot. Also, a parting gift. My own blade forged by my fang, said Darcia as dark chakra once again manifested into a long katana, with a black sheath, gold hilt and guard, black handle, and the blade itself shined in the sun as a leaf dropped towards the blade's edge only to be sliced in half without Sasuke moving it. Its affinity is lightning, allowing you to perform lightning-based jutsus infused with it. Over time its true form would awaken to you, and you already know the basic kenjutsu and the style of the wolf clan along with some basic lightning jutsus that I know, said Darcia. Naruto-kun, I want you to do the same for our summoning contract, and carrying it. The signs are rabbit, bird, tiger, dragon, and dog, said Kira, emitting her own chakra manifesting into a scroll. Naruto copied Sasuke's actions with his right hand and sealed the scroll while Sasuke strapped on his new sword on his back. The 5 summonses disappeared in a large cloud of smoke, making Kira turn her attention towards Sarutobi. Now then, Sarutobi-sama, it's time for your reward, cheered Kira, placing her index and middle finger on top of Sarutobi's head. Kira muttered an inaudible incantation as Sarutobi's wrinkles started to disappear, his liver spots were gone, he grew several inches, and his hair was now black mixed with some white hair. Kira groaned as she lost her balance and fell, being caught by Sarutobi before she hit the ground. Sarutobi handed Kira to Naruto, carrying her bridal style. Kira opened her eyes and looked at Sarutobi. That must have taken a lot out of you, but thank you for the gift. Right now, however, you 3 should be in class getting ready for your graduation exams. Oh, and Kira, you will automatically become a kunoichi of the Leaf Village if you wish to when Naruto graduates, said Sarutobi, smiling. Kira, Naruto, and Sasuke nodded as Kira shifted into her fox form, resting on Naruto's head, and the boys performed a genjutsu to hide their features and blades. Thank you, Sarutobi-sama, I'll consider it. Academy classroom. Upon entering, the boys saw that everyone was already inside chattering with one another. Sasuke looked relieved until he hears a sound that he hated. Sasuke-kun, screamed nearly every female in the room except for one girl with short dark blue hair, beautiful white eyes with a hint of lavender, a petite form hidden under her khaki jacket with a small flame above a spiral symbol, and Anbu-style shorts. Her name was Hinata Hyuga, heiress to the Hyuga clan. Naruto. Yeah, Sasuke. Please visit me at my funeral after they're done trampling me while trying to kiss me, or rape me. Sure thing. How much do you need? About 3 seconds head start or so. Can do, proclaimed Naruto as Sasuke left the classroom running while Naruto shut the door, barricading it with his body, only to be slammed back, breaking the door off its hinges by a stampede of hormone-crazed girls chasing their desired objective. Naruto groaned in pain as he checked Kira to see if she was all right and entered the classroom. A few minutes later, Sasuke appeared, entering through the window while panting, showing he was running a lot. That was quick, said Naruto. Pant. Thank God for the boys' restroom, panted Sasuke. Naruto could feel someone watching him and turned, scanning everyone until he saw Hinata staring at him, only to blush and quickly turned away. I think she likes you, Foxy-kun, whispered Kira. You think so? Well, she is kind of pretty, but at least let me talk to Sakura, whispered Naruto. That pink-haired banshee, she doesn't like you, and she's always lusting after Sasuke, whispered Kira. I'm going to have to agree with her on this one, Naruto. She does always hit you, and treats you like dirt. Not to mention she calls you an idiot because you have to hold back, whispered Sasuke, putting in his 2 cents. Fine then, how about this? Today's her birthday, and if she doesn't like it, then I'll stop chasing her, whispered Naruto. Your choice, shrugged Sasuke. Kira just looked at him with worry in her eyes. Just be careful, Foxy-kun. Even though she doesn't like you, know that I will always love you, whispered Kira, nuzzling on Naruto's neck, making him pet her behind her ears. I made it first, yelled 2 girls. One had a red Chinese-like dress with black Anbu-style pants, a white circle on the back, and long pink hair. The other had long light blonde hair, light blue eyes, a purple shirt with bandages underneath, and a matching purple skirt. The pink-haired girl was none other than Sakura Haruno, who Naruto had a crush on, but was slowly dying every time she hit him, and the other girl was Ino Yamanaka, heiress of the Yamanaka clan who specialize in mind-altering jutsus. Both girls started fighting as other girls started fighting over who made it first in general and deserved to sit next to Sasuke. Naruto, Kira, and Sasuke looked at the forming mob of fangirls as each of them just sighed when Naruto felt a large killer intent directed on him. Naruto looked to his right to see the mob of fangirls looking like they were going to kill him for sitting next to Sasuke. Morning, Sakura-chan, I want to say happy birth, said Naruto, getting up, handing an envelope to Sakura, only to be interrupted by her screaming, Naruto, you idiot. Sakura punched Naruto on his right side of his chest, causing him to be knocked back, as Sasuke got out of his chair and catches Naruto. "How dare you sit next to Sasuke-kun?" yelled Sakura again. Sasuke noticed that Naruto's breath was uneven and gasping like he was having a hard time breathing. Sasuke looked worried and opened his cloak to reveal that it had a small pocket where Sakura punched him and was bleeding like a kunai stabbed him. Sasuke reached into the pocket, pulling out a little crushed white box with a pink glass shard sticking out horizontally, realizing that a piece of the shard could be stuck inside him and punctured a lung between his ribs. Sasuke opened the box to see what the shard looked like, and pulled out a miniature Sakura tree broken into different little pieces. The glass figurine looked really expensive, more than how much Naruto owned. "Kira, look for any missing pieces. Bark once if all the pieces are there. Bark twice if one or more is missing," said Sasuke, taking off his and Naruto's weapons pouch, taking off the bandages underneath, and started to clean some of the blood. Kira barked once, signaling that all the pieces were there, while Sasuke started ripping Naruto's shirt, showing his chest was full of small scars from cuts and bruises, with a long scar that looked like a sword wound from his right shoulder to the left side of his hip. Sasuke dressed the wound and carried Naruto on his back. "Hang on, Naruto, I'm taking you to the hospital," said Sasuke as he jumped out of the window he entered, jumping from rooftop to rooftop with Kira behind him. Sakura and the rest of the class looked at what happened, with Sakura's eyes showing disbelief as she stared at the little glass Sakura tree, realizing how beautiful it was, and could estimate that it must have cost Naruto a fortune. The rest of the fangirls looked at her as she dropped to her knees, staring at the floor. "Naruto-kun, all those wounds in your body, what could have made you suffer so much?" "Naruto-kun," thought Hinata as tears started falling from her eyes. "All right, class, settle down," said Iruka, walking in with his partner Mizuki, realizing that his class was unusually and disturbingly quiet. "What happened in here?" asked Mizuki. Sakura punched Naruto just for sitting next to Sasuke, and wishing her a happy birthday when his present broke, and stabbed him in the chest, puncturing a lung. "Sasuke tried to clean the wound and headed towards the hospital," explained a random student. Iruka's eyes widened at what he heard about Naruto, since Iruka had been a father figure to both Naruto and Sasuke, since both boys were like brothers, and everyone would always spot them together unless it was when they left home. "Mizuki, take over the class, I'm going to the hospital," said Iruka, rushing out the door. Naruto woke up 30 minutes later, seeing Kira's face in her fox form. "Once again, you have to be an angel," said Naruto in a soft whisper. "Naruto-kun, please don't ever do that again," whispered Kira, close to tears. Sasuke barged in the next second, grabbing a nearby chair, barricading the door, hearing the screams of girls on the other side of the door. "What is it with these nurses? Did they think I like older women? Well, there was this older one that looked really cute when I visited my brother in Anbu," said Sasuke, remembering the girl. "What was her name?" asked Naruto, who had recovered. "Well, now I see you're awake. You work fast, Kira," said Sasuke. "Thank you," said Kira, wagging her tail. "Her name was Yugao Azuki. She was the same age as my brother, but only liked him like an older brother figure. She had dark purple hair with beautiful brown eyes, an hourglass figure. She was very kind to me, and she was the one found me first and brought me the Hokage. She was really beautiful," blushed Sasuke, thinking about her. "Looks like someone has his first mate in mind," smiled Naruto, snapping Sasuke out of his stupor. "Naruto. Sasuke. Are you in there? Can you hear me?" "Excuse me, miss," came the voice of Iruka. "All right, Naruto. You create the distraction, then get Iruka," said Sasuke, removing his chair, placing his back against the door. "Way ahead of you, Sasuke," said Naruto, taking out small purple orb. Sasuke opened the door as Naruto threw the orb, creating a purple smoke screen as both boys dashed out, grabbed Iruka, and dashed back in the room, hearing the women bickering about the smoke bomb. "Why didn't you use the window, Iruka-sensei?" asked Naruto. "Well, to be honest, the easiest way to find you was to find the mob of Sasuke's fangirls," said Iruka, scratching the back of his head, causing Sasuke to sweat drop. Naruto, how do you feel? Asked Iruka. I'm fine thanks to Kyuubi's chakra, said Naruto. Iruka had never found out that Kira was actually the Kyuubi, or knew that Sasuke already knew about it. Naruto, it's all right, Iruka. Naruto told me about it 5 years ago when we started the academy, said Sasuke, crossing his arms. Well then I guess that's okay, said Iruka, not sure what to do. Anyways, the nurse said since you're all better you can come back to the academy to take the final exam. At least try to pass the final exam, I don't want to fail you. Fine, but we take the window. I fear for my manhood, and my first time, said Sasuke, shivering at the thought of what the nurses might do to him. Academy room. The trio entered when Mizuki said, about time you got here. I was about to start without you. Sorry. He recovered fine except I was delayed by a group of Sasuke's admirers, said Iruka, causing Sasuke face fault and his fangirl emit a killing intent towards the nurses at the hospital. Sasuke and Naruto returned to their original seats since none of the girls took it since Sasuke wasn't there. Now then, there are 3 phases to the test. Your first test is a written portion of the exam, said Iruka. Great. My weakness, thought Naruto. Don't worry Naruto, just answer at least half or so correct, said Sasuke. After the first exam, Naruto took Sasuke's advice and answered half right, and slammed his head against the table. How much did you hold back? Whispered Iruka. About half right or so, whispered Naruto. I guess that could help you, but we'll see, whispered Iruka. After collecting the papers, Mizuki started grading them as Iruka prepared for the next exam. Now then, your next exam is your aim. Each of you will have a practice dummy target, and you need to score at least 7 out of 10 points. If you would follow me outside, said Iruka as the entire class lined up. Once outside, each of the students gathered round Iruka. When I call your name, you may begin. Each will have 10 kunai, and 10 shurikens, said Iruka. Sakura Haruno. Sakura stepped up, but wasn't her cheerful self. She still had the haunting vision of Naruto's scars in her mind. Sakura's train of thought was interrupted when Iruka gave her 10 kunai. Begin. Sakura scored 7 out of 10, with the last kunai barely touching its target, but still held in place, and 2 shuriken hitting the same target, but embedded the weapon even deeper, making it count as 2 hits. Iruka kept going down the list, skipping Sasuke and Naruto until he hit the last 2 people. Sasuke Uchiha, called Iruka. Sasuke went up to Iruka and grabbed the kunai, with most of the girls looking at him with hearts in their eyes, including Sakura, who temporarily forgot about Naruto's scars. And Naruto Uzumaki, called Iruka, shocking everyone, making Sakura remember the sight of Naruto's chest again. What are you doing, Iruka? Said Mizuki, who just finished grading the papers. You'll see, said Iruka with a sly smile. Now then, gentlemen, you know the rules. Plus the wager still stands, said Iruka. Wager? Asked Mizuki. If Sasuke wins, then the 3 of us eat at his favorite tea stand, and if Naruto wins, then it's dinner at Ichiraku Ramen, said Iruka, making everyone sweat drop. Sigh. This is a test, Iruka, not a gambling site, sighed Mizuki. I know, it's just that with both of them it's already interesting, plus I don't have to decide where to eat, said Iruka. Way to exit that argument, Iruka-sensei. You could have just flipped a coin or something, said Sasuke, stating the obvious. True, but when do I get the pleasure having my 2 boys competing to see who's stronger, said Iruka, ruffling both boys' hairs. Kira jumped down of Naruto's shoulder, stretching, and curled herself into a ball while enjoying the scenery of both boys taking their test. Most of the girls saw this, trying to resist the urge to pet her fur. Ready, said Iruka as Sasuke and Naruto readied their kunai. Begin. Sasuke and Naruto release their kunai at the same time, each hitting their target in the middle. Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Uzumaki perfect score on kunai. Now for shuriken and tie breaker, said Iruka. I didn't know we were on a game show, snickered Sasuke. I always wanted to say that, said Iruka, scratching the back of his head. Looks like Sasuke made a funny, said Naruto, showing his foxy grin. Iruka-sensei, Naruto cheated. Yeah, there's no way he's Sasuke-kun's equal, yelled some of the fangirls as each started ranting about how Naruto matched Sasuke's score. Quiet all of you, or you all fail, yelled Iruka with his big teacher head jutsu. Each of the fangirls became quiet, fearing Iruka, but mostly his threat of failing, and having the only chance to be in Sasuke's team. Now that that's settled, ready, said Iruka as both boys once again positioned themselves, but each were smirking for some reason. Begin. Fox style, Flaming Claw. Wolf style, Lightning Fang. Mentally yelled the boys. Each of the shurikens was powered by the boys' demonic chakra. Naruto burned his target with flamed shurikens, and Sasuke incinerated his targets with lightning-charged shuriken. Each of the shurikens had hit their spot in the center of the target, causing the dummies to explode. Bang. Now that's how you end with a bang, said Naruto, putting his hands behind his back. Should have done that with the kunai though, said Sasuke. True, but how would we top this one? You have a point there. Well then I guess that's a perfect score too. I would like to see any of you complain about that since all of you witness it, said Iruka, turning his head knowing Sasuke's fangirls were about to say something. Damn, the demon has corrupted the Uchiha. This is bad. If he fails then I move into strike, thought Mizuki. Iruka and the rest of the class walked inside the classroom when he remembered something. Damn, now I don't know what to choose for dinner, said Iruka. Sigh. Call it in the air, said Sasuke, tossing a coin. Heads. Damn, cursed Sasuke, catching the coin, revealing heads. Once everybody was seated, Iruka called out, okay, now your final exam consists of 2 parts. The first is the transformation jutsu, and the second is the clone jutsu, said Iruka. No, I still haven't figured out what I do wrong with that jutsu, mentally screamed Naruto. Sasuke saw that Naruto was panicking and whispered to Kira, what's wrong with him? He still hasn't figured out his problem with the clone jutsu, whispered Kira. Naruto, listen carefully. I think I can perform it really quick and you copy it with the Rugen, whispered Sasuke. Hopefully it'll work, whispered Naruto. Naruto activated his bloodline, making his cerulean blue eyes turn into a brilliant gold, with 2 silver tomo. Sasuke pulled on the chair next to him, performed a ram seal, and a clone appeared next to the empty seat. Naruto was staring at him the entire time, copying every detail into his head. Then Sasuke dispelled the clone. You think you got it? Whispered Sasuke. I can only pray, whispered Naruto. Sasuke Uchiha, called Iruka. Sasuke walked down and transformed into Iruka. Naruto Uzumaki, called Iruka as Naruto walked down. Naruto performed a ram seal, concentrating his chakra. Transform, yelled Naruto, transforming into the 4th Hokage. Everyone was shocked to see how much Naruto resembled the 4th Hokage and dispelled the transformation. Instead of transforming back to his regular self, there stood a girl with swirling clouds covering her intimate parts with 2 pigtails, blue eyes, and whisker marks. Oh. Iruka-sensei, said the girl seductively, making Iruka rocket back by a stream of his own blood from his nose. Naruto transformed back, laughing while clutching his side. Gotcha with my sexy jutsu. You and that stupid jutsu, yelled Iruka, smacking Naruto in the head with 2 napkins stuffed on his nose. Kira was on Naruto's desk the entire time watching, and was still laughing watching Iruka being propelled back by his own nosebleed. Now that's comedy, snickered Kira. You just couldn't resist, could you? Said Sasuke with his elbows on the desk while his head was supported by his hands facing down, while Naruto sit next to him with a giant bump on his head. Nope, but hopefully some of the students got the hint. I doubt it, said Sasuke. Okay, now Mizuki and I would see each of you individually so each of you can perform the clone jutsu and pick up your headbands, said Iruka. One by one the students entered an empty classroom, some coming out with headbands, some without. Naruto was sweating bullets as he heard Sasuke's name being called, knowing he was next after him. Sasuke came out wearing his headband around his neck with a look like he was deep in thought when Naruto heard his name being called. "You'll do fine, Naruto-kun, I'll be there with you," said Kira reassuringly. Naruto walked in and saw Mizuki and Iruka sitting in a table with a bunch of headbands next to them. "All right, Naruto, you must make at least one clone to pass," said Iruka. Naruto gulped as he did performed a ram seal, clone jutsu. A puff of smoke appeared showing Naruto standing the same position he was, and next to him was a dead clone that looked like a dummy. "That's impossible. I copied it off of Sasuke. It should have worked," mentally yelled Naruto. "Something's wrong here. Sasuke was able to perform it, but Naruto can't. They both have the same amount of chakra, and the same size in the inner coils ever since the fusion. So both should be able to perform it," thought Kira. Then Kira realized something that she overlooked. "Ah, that's right. Stupid, stupid, Kira, it should have been obvious," mentally scolded Kira at herself. "Naruto, I'm sorry. I have no choice but to fail you. The written portion hardly gave you any points, and the Kunai and Shuriken test did boosted you score, but was still below passing," sighed Iruka. "Come on, Iruka. Some of the kids hardly perform a perfect clone, even Sasuke looked like he had trouble performing it. Why don't you just—" "I'm sorry, Mizuki, but Naruto failed and that's that. Sasuke's clone wasn't perfect, but it was still able to stand unlike Naruto's." "I'm sorry, Naruto, but maybe you'll have better luck next year," said Iruka. "This confirms my suspicions," thought Kira. Kira jumped onto Naruto's shoulder and saw that he was deeply disappointed. Naruto walked outside seeing the other graduates, parents congratulating their children, making Naruto feel worse. Naruto headed towards the swing set that he would usually sit on whenever he felt alone when he spotted Sasuke there. "Hey," said Naruto depressingly. Sasuke noticed that Naruto didn't have a headband and took his off. "I'm going to ask Iruka if I can repeat the year as well." "But you performed the clone jutsu, why do you want to repeat the year?" asked Naruto. "Hey, Naruto, you're like a brother to me, and possibly the only living person I consider family. If you didn't pass, then I'm willing to suffer a year of fangirls rather than get put on a team with a fangirl and some weakling who might hold the team back. Besides, I wouldn't mind having a laugh or two when you pull the same stunt on Iruka next year," smirked Sasuke. "Thanks, Sasuke," said Naruto with higher spirits. "Foxy-kun, I think I know the problem. You copied Sasuke's example of the clone jutsu perfectly, however, it was the difference in height that caused the problem," explained Kira. "What do you mean, Vixenheim?" asked Naruto. "Well, both you and Sasuke have the same amount of chakra thanks to Darcia fusing his power with Sasuke, and both of you have the same inner coils. However, the only difference between you two is height. Since Sasuke is bigger than you, his clones must fill out with more chakra, making it look like a regular clone, but not a perfect clone. On the other hand, Naruto is shorter, therefore his chakra can't fill the clone completely, thus creating a dead-looking clone," explained Kira. "Now that you mention it, I did have a hard time performing it. At first I thought I did something wrong, but it happened again inside the exam and when I demonstrated it to Naruto," said Sasuke. "So you're saying that the reason why I can't perform the clone jutsu is because I have too much chakra, and because I'm short. Fate is a cruel mistress," said Naruto, crying waterfall tears. "My point exactly. The only solution I can think of is that the clones must be solid somehow, since the both of you have too much chakra to perform such a simple jutsu that restricts too much of your chakra. Sadly, I don't know of such a technique. I'm sorry," said Kira. "It's okay, Kira-heim, we'll just try next year," said Naruto, picking her up. "It's getting late, I think I'll head home and take a shower." "Same here," said Sasuke. Naruto was walking down the street when he heard footsteps approaching. Hey Naruto, how do you feel? Asked Mizuki, catching up to Naruto. I've had better days, said Naruto. You know there is a way for you to graduate that Iruka hasn't told you, said Mizuki. Come on, take the bait. Really? How? Asked Naruto excitingly with stars in his eyes. Gotcha. Well, all you have to do is. That night, Naruto was jumping from tree to tree carrying a large scroll in his hands. Yes. I did it. Now Iruka sensei will pass me for sure, said Naruto. Something doesn't seem right here, Naruto-kun, said Kira, having second thoughts about this so-called makeup exam. Don't worry, Kira-hime, Mizuki sensei wouldn't do anything, said Naruto. Hokage Tower. Hokage-sama. The demon has stolen the forbidden scroll, said a random jonin. I suggest you watch your tongue unless you want Ibiki to remove it for you, said the Hokage in a dangerous tone. Lord Hokage, I don't think Naruto meant to steal it. I have known him and Sasuke for a long time, and something doesn't seem right, said Iruka. I want to believe you, Iruka, but right now the main priority is to get back that scroll and Naruto alive. That scroll contains forbidden jutsu, as well as the fourth sealing technique that he used on the Kyuubi, said the Hokage, taking off his hat, revealing he looked younger, shocking most of the ninja. I want all of you to find him and bring him here alive and unharmed. Iruka, get Sasuke and help him look for Naruto. If I find as much as one hair out of place on his head, then you have an appointment with Ibiki and Anko. Now go, ordered the Hokage, waving his hand as all the ninja dispersed, making the Hokage's robes flutter in the wind. Ha! No one will find him. Only I know where to find him, mentally smirked Mizuki. In the forest near an abandoned shack. Naruto landed down from the tree, looking around, smelling around for Mizuki, only to smell the scent of trees, and for some reason, lavender. I guess Mizuki sensei isn't here yet. Oh well, it gives me time to try out one of these cool jutsus, said Naruto. I still don't trust him, but maybe one of these jutsus might help us, said Kira. Naruto opened the scroll and was surprised to see a lot of different and difficult jutsus. His eyes then spotted one that said, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Maybe this can help us out in our clone problem, Kira-hime, said Naruto, looking at the description. Maybe, and it says that the clones are solid. So it could be a solution, said Kira, peering over Naruto's shoulder. Let's try it. You never know until you try, said Naruto. Different part of the forest. Iruka and Sasuke were jumping from tree to tree looking for Naruto. Are you sure it was Naruto and not someone in a transformation disguise? Asked Sasuke. Yes, I'm positive. I checked his apartment and it's empty, and he never showed up to Ichiraku, and you know he wouldn't miss that for the world unless it's for training, said Iruka. Let's ask him when we catch up to him then, said Sasuke. Iruka sensed a familiar chakra signature, knowing it was Naruto. This way, Sasuke, I sense his chakra signature, said Iruka. Naruto was completely tired and decided to sit down while panting for breath. You did it, Foxy-kun, happily cheered Kira, wagging her tail. Yeah, now Iruka-sensei and Mizuki-sensei can pass me, and Sasuke won't have to repeat, panted Naruto. Naruto sniffed the air, catching Iruka's scent along with Sasuke's wolf scent. Iruka and Sasuke appeared as Naruto laughed weakly. You found me, Iruka-sensei. Sorry, but I only had time to do one jutsu, said Naruto, scratching the back of his head, showing his foxy grin. He's been working hard, I can tell, thought Iruka, smiling as Sasuke helped Naruto get on his feet. Why'd you steal the scroll, Naruto? You know it's forbidden, said Sasuke. Forbidden? But this is the scroll that Mizuki-sensei told me that I needed to learn so I can pass, explained Naruto with a confused look. Why would Mizuki? Iruka was interrupted when he heard the sound of flying metal, and tackled both boys to the ground as a giant shuriken embedded itself to a nearby tree. Oh, I miss. Oh well, at least now I can be rid of these pests once and for all, whispered Mizuki, appearing in a tree branch. Mizuki-sensei, what are you doing? Asked Naruto, shocked that Mizuki tried to attack them. Naruto, give me the scroll. Iruka's trying to trick you, shouted Mizuki. Don't give him the scroll, Naruto. Mizuki is lying to you. He just wants the scroll for himself. That scroll contains forbidden jutsus that could be used against our village if it fell into the wrong hands. Don't listen to him, Naruto. Iruka hates you just like all the villagers. All those times he was being fatherly was just an act so you can lower your guard and kill you. He actually only likes Sasuke for being the last Uchiha, said Mizuki, smiling evilly. Naruto, listen to me, something doesn't seem right. Iruka would never do something like this, whispered Sasuke. Sasuke, I wouldn't stand too close to Naruto if I were you. For you see he's a demon, said Mizuki. I can promise you power, Sasuke, all the power you will need to kill your brother for killing your clan. All you have to do is kill Naruto, and take that scroll, said Mizuki evilly. What do you mean? Asked Sasuke. Well, you see, the reason everyone hates Naruto is because he's actually. Don't do it, Mizuki. He's actually the Kyuubi no Kitsune, the nine-tailed fox. The fox is sealed inside him, but he overwhelmed Naruto, making him the new Kyuubi no Kitsune, said Mizuki. Sasuke just smirked, and then started laughing out loud, confusing Mizuki. All this time I thought you were an idiot. Now I know you're just retarded. Next time, why don't you get your facts straight, Mizuki? For starters, Naruto already told he about the fox when we were 8. 2. My brother never killed my clan since he was with Naruto the whole time, and has evidence to prove it. 3. The only power I want is to protect those who are precious to me like Naruto, who is like a brother. 4. Naruto isn't a demon, granted he might be considered half demon. 5. The Kyuubi isn't a he, it's a she. And 6. The Kyuubi has already granted me power by allying myself with the wolf summons, and is considered part of the wolf clan. So, like Naruto, I too am considered a half-demon, said Sasuke as both boys dropped their genjutsu, shocking Mizuki and Iruka. How? When? Stuttered Mizuki. That would be my doing, said Kira, shifting into her human form, the Kyuubi no Kitsune in the flesh, proclaimed Kira proudly at her title. That's impossible, said Mizuki, worrying. Nothing's impossible with me around, said Naruto. Mizuki just grunted in frustration. Fine then, now I can get rid of 2 demons, said Mizuki, throwing 2 large shuriken at Naruto and Kira. The trio jumped up to the trees as Mizuki threw more of the shuriken, causing them to separate. When Naruto landed, he noticed a large shuriken directly in front of him. Naruto-kun, yelled Kira, running towards him, but would never make it in time. Sasuke landed and witnessed the event and headed towards Naruto. No. Not another one. I'll not lose another member of my family now. Mentally yelled Sasuke, but was too far away. Thud. Naruto was tackled to the ground and opened his eyes. He saw Iruka on top of him with the shuriken on his back. Iruka-sensei, why? Stuttered Naruto. Because you were just like me, I lost my parents during the Kyuubi attack. After that my grades fell, I became the class clown to gain attention, and I know how it feels to be alone with no one to care for you. When I saw you, I saw myself, but then I saw you with Sasuke after the tragedy and the 2 of you became friends. Then became like family to each other. That's why I treat the both of you like you were my kids, said Iruka with tears dropping from his eyes. Now go, Naruto. Get out of here. Make sure Mizuki doesn't get that scroll. Naruto got up and jumped to the trees with Sasuke and Kira next to him. Tisk, Iruka, I'm surprised at you. After all, there was the perfect opportunity to kill the demon and avenge your parents, but I guess you want to do it yourself, said Mizuki. Shut up, you bastard, said Iruka, taking off the shuriken on his back. I won't let you touch Naruto, Sasuke, or the Kyuubi, said Iruka, getting into a defensive taijutsu stance. So Iruka, are you willing to protect the demon that took away your parents? Smirked Mizuki. If Naruto and Sasuke trust her, then so do I. said Iruka, throwing the giant shuriken only for Mizuki to jump into a tree branch and follow Naruto. Damn, curse Iruka, following Mizuki. Deeper into the forest, Iruka saw Naruto carrying the scroll with Sasuke and the Kyuubi in sight. Mizuki, disguised as Iruka, threw several kunai at Naruto, hitting him in the back. Naruto landed sitting in a nearby tree with Sasuke and Kira next to him. Iruka landed in front of him. Naruto, it's all right now, Mizuki is gone. Naruto took out a kunai, throwing it at Iruka, making Iruka dodge the projectile. And Naruto, what are you doing? Asked Iruka. You're not Iruka-sensei. I should now because Naruto puffed, revealing Iruka in his place, as Sasuke and Kira puffed out of existence. I'm the real Iruka. You never were really good with the clone jutsu, Mizuki. Damn you, Iruka. Can't you see he's nothing but a beast? He probably planned this, bidding his time to kill everyone without mercy. He only cares to satisfy his bloodlust, said Mizuki. Near a tree where Iruka and Mizuki were talking, Naruto, Kira, and Sasuke were there listening to their conversation. You're right, that is a beast, said Iruka, as Naruto felt discouraged and started to believe Mizuki's word about Iruka. But that's not how Naruto is, said Iruka with pride in his voice. Naruto jerked his head up, wanting to listen. Naruto is a hard worker who was never given a break his entire life. Now he found someone who accepts him for whom he is, apart from me. If anything, it doesn't matter what you do to me, I know that Naruto will continue to work hard and follow his dream, to become Hokage of the village hidden in the leaves, yelled Iruka with more pride in his voice, hoping Naruto heard him. Mizuki twitched his eyebrows in annoyance, raising a giant shuriken ready to end Iruka's life. Just then Kira appeared in front of Iruka, swinging her claw-like hands, forcing Mizuki to dodge, scratching Mizuki's vest. Sasuke appeared behind Mizuki, kicking him in the back as Naruto appeared above him, swinging the giant scroll down like a hammer, smashing Mizuki towards the ground. If you ever touch my sensei, I'll kill you, said Naruto with malice in his voice. Mizuki looked at him, then started laughing. Ha, ha, what are you going to do? You're just an academy student, a newly appointed genin, and a demon whose powers are sealed. Face it, I'm stronger than you, said Mizuki with an evil smile. You would think, wouldn't you? Said Naruto with his own evil smirk, causing Mizuki to worry. Naruto put down the scroll with a heavy thud, and performed a cross-shaped hand seal. Sasuke, Kira, I want you two to copy this jutsu, said Naruto. Sharingan. Rugen. Sasuke's eyes became red with 2 black tomo in each eye, as Kira's eyes became gold with 2 silver tomo and 2 triangles near the pupil. That's right, it's the 4th Hokage's bloodline, my father's bloodline, my bloodline. Plus a friend of Kira activated Sasuke's bloodline as a gift. As for Kira, since she's sealed inside me, she gets to share my bloodline, said Naruto. Now face the wrath of Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Shadow Clone Jutsu, yelled Naruto as the surrounding area was covered in smoke, showing hundreds of Naruto. Shadow Clone Jutsu, yelled Sasuke and Kira at the same time, as hundreds of Sasuke and Kira appeared standing next to Naruto's clones. Those aren't just illusions, they're solid clones, thought Iruka, smirking. Naruto, you never cease to amaze me. Now then, you bastard, you're going to find out what happens when you mess with one of my precious people, said Naruto. Save me some body parts, Naruto. I never did like it when he called you and Kira demons, said Sasuke, cracking his knuckles. Normally I'm against spilling human blood, but in this case I think I'll make an exception, said Kira, flexing her claws. All the clones yelled a battle cry as each started hitting Mizuki without any end in sight. When the clones dispelled, Mizuki was lying on the floor with swollen bruises, broken limbs, and a black eye. Well, I'm satisfied, said Sasuke, placing his hands inside his pocket. Who knew hitting an idiot senselessly would be quite pleasant, said Kira. He got it coming to him for a while now, said Naruto. All right, whoever you are, come out. I can smell your scent behind that tree, said Sasuke. From the tree that Sasuke was shouting at, Hinata appeared twiddling her fingers. Hinata-chan, what are you doing here? Asked Naruto. Well I, whimpered Hinata in a low voice. I heard everything Naruto about what Mizuki sensei s said, stuttered Hinata, causing Naruto to panic. But I think why your wonderful F for C carrying s such a b burden. Ever s since I saw t those s scars w when s Sakura hit yuic cried k knowing t that yuw were in p pain a and iw wanted to make t the p pain go a away. I'm just as sad that you already l like t the Kyuubi b because I love you. Screamed Hinata, causing Naruto to blush. She accepts me despite my appearance, she doesn't mind Kira, and she loves me. She wanted to take away my pain, and she is kind of pretty, thought Naruto. Giggle. You know Hinata-chan, Naruto-kun isn't the only one who has a crush on me. He also has a crush on you, giggled Kira. What do you mean? Asked Hinata. You see, since Naruto-kun is the last member of the Namikaze clan, the fourth Hokage's clan, he needs to have more than 4 wives to restore his clan, explained Kira. I guess what Kira is trying to say is, since you love me despite me having Kira's power sealed inside me, would you, gulp, would you like to be my mate and fiancé, stuttered Naruto. Hinata was dumbfounded after hearing Naruto propose to her. Why yes. I would love to, said Hinata smiling. Naruto went up to Hinata and hugged her, crying tears of joy that someone else loved him. Kira was also crying at the scene before her when she heard a strange noise. Sniff ahem. Are you crying, Sasuke? Asked Kira. Don't be silly, I just have something in my eye. Besides, I'm just glad Naruto has another precious person apart from you. Nothing to cry about, said Sasuke. That was close, thought Sasuke, relieved. Blackmail, smirked Kira. Naruto hugged Hinata until he cupped her chin, lifting her head and kissed her on her lips. Hinata moaned passionately until he broke the kiss, traveling down her neck, making Hinata close her eyes in ecstasy until Hinata felt a prick on her neck, but it didn't hurt her at all. In fact, she felt good until she saw her body erupt into a midnight blue flame. When the flame subsided, Hinata was standing there with longer hair that reached to her mid-back, 2 midnight blue fox ears, and a midnight blue tail with a lavender tip. Hinata looked at her appearance and new features, admiring her tail. Looks like I now have 2 angels in my life, said Naruto, making Hinata blush at his statement. And a new sister, said Sasuke. Kira walked up to Hinata, showing that both girls were the same size in height and bust size. Kira smiled her foxy grin, making Hinata curious until Kira cupped her chin and kissed her passionately. Hinata stared wide-eyed at the redhead's action, but for some reason she felt good. Kira broke the kiss, staring at Hinata's confused reaction, making her giggle. You see, since Naruto-kun marked you at his mate, you are also my mate as well, said Kira. Hinata just blushed at Kira's notion. Ah, you're so cute, said Kira, hugging Hinata. I guess I can share Naruto with you and 2 other women, said Hinata. Don't worry, Angel-chan, if Foxy-kun chooses other mates they have to be approved by us first, said Kira. Angel-chan. It's a nickname that we call each other. For example, Naruto-kun is Foxy-kun for being a clever genius, which is sad since he had to hold back in the academy. Foxy-kun calls me Vixenheim for being a female fox, and since you're a sweat and caring girl like an angel, we'll call you Angel-chan, or Angelheim, explained Kira. Dawn was approaching as Sasuke and Naruto helped Iruka get on his feet, until he said, Naruto, wait, close your eyes, said Iruka. Naruto closed his eyes, feeling a slight uncomfortable sensation in his ears. Okay, you can open them now, said Iruka. Naruto opened his eyes revealing a smiling Iruka, but there was something different about his appearance. Naruto couldn't figure out until he still felt the uncomfortable feeling in his ears when he felt the cold sensation of a metal plate with a spiral carved into it. Naruto looked at Iruka who was still smiling. You pass. Naruto smiled and hugged Iruka. Naruto then untied the headband and placed it around his neck like Hinata. It doesn't hurt the ears, and it's a good excuse to copy Hinata, said Naruto making everyone laugh. Come on you four. We need to see the Hokage about the events that happen, said Iruka while Naruto picked up the forbidden scroll. Hokage Tower. The Hokage was looking at the event that happened in his crystal ball. Well now Naruto, you really never cease to amaze me. Though how am I ever going to explain this to Hiashi? Lord Hokage, Naruto still hasn't appeared with the forbidden scroll, said an ANBU that appeared. Don't worry, Iruka found him, and they're on their way back here. Have some Anbu standing by to arrest Mizuki for betraying the village, attempt to steal the forbidden scroll, framing an innocent child, and attempted murder, said the Hokage still looking at the crystal ball smiling. Yes, Hokage-sama. Oh, and while you're at it, bring Hiashi Hyuga here. There's a matter I need to discuss with him, said the Hokage rubbing his temples. Okay, whatever you say Hokage-sama, said the Anbu confusedly, but decided to shrug it off. Naruto, Kira, and Hinata were walking hand in hand with their tails intertwined with each other, while Sasuke walked next to Iruka, who was carrying Mizuki's unconscious body over Iruka's shoulder, with his hands behind his back. Boy is this going to be hard to explain, sighed Iruka, still, who knew Naruto was a genius like you, Sasuke. Naruto and I are about the same mentality level ever since Shikamaru taught Naruto how to play shogi and chess. After that we would always have a game with the same outcome, we both end up in a stalemate, said Sasuke, since we usually play. This increased Naruto's mentality on tactics, battle strategy, how to turn a dire situation into our favor, and a few history lessons and whatnot that miraculously was able to stick with one of your lecture Iruka. Shikamaru taught Naruto, but his scores are about the same to Naruto holding back, said a confused Iruka. True, but he's actually a genius. He's just really lazy that's all. I'd say it would take me and Naruto combined just to outsmart him. His mentality exceeds our own, individually. He even taught us his meditation technique that he invented to plan several steps ahead of the enemy, and it has come in quite handy, said Sasuke. Groan. Where am I? Whack. Mizuki was starting to regain conscious until Sasuke grabbed a nearby shovel with his tail whacking Mizuki unconscious again. Was that really necessary? Said Iruka sweat dropping. Yes, I didn't feel like dealing with him again anyways, said Sasuke. Let's just hope you didn't give him amnesia then, said Iruka. Don't worry, I have the cure right here, said Sasuke twirling the shovel with his tail. Once the group entered the Hokage Tower they handed Mizuki's unconscious body to some Anbu waiting by the entrance saying that the Hokage ordered them to wait for them outside and arrest Mizuki, and the Hokage requested their presence with him immediately. The group of 5 entered the Hokage's office with another man who had long jet black that reached his mid back, white robes, and pure white eyes, and a little girl about 8 years old hiding behind the man's back with long brown hair and white eyes. Father. Hanabi. Stuttered Hinata. Hinata, is that you? Asked the man known as Hinata's father. Yes, well, I was going to explain that part right now, Hiashi, said Sarutobi. What happened to you? Asked Hiashi. Well, you see, Hinata explained everything she heard about from Mizuki's conversation, the truth behind the Kyuubi no Kitsune, how Naruto proposed to her, and how she really loved him. Well, that's quite a tale, said Hiashi. Hinata Nichan, see, can I play with you tale? Asked a blushing Hanabi. Of course you can, Hanabi dear, said Hinata in a motherly tone. Hanabi giggled and started playing with her sister's tail. Just like her mother, said Hiashi remembering his loving wife. If you don't mind me asking, Why did you bring Hinata-chan's little sister here? Asked Kira. I don't trust the Hyuga elders. They've already forced me to do terrible things that I regret, said Hiashi. Like what, Hiashi-sama? Asked Naruto. Well, for starters, they've forced me to put the cage bird seal on Neji. I hated that seal from the moment I laid eyes on it. I tried to talk the elders into letting me personally place the seal on him when I was really planning on painting a fake seal to make it look real by using my brother's seal as a model. However, they denied me and placed the seal on his forehead. I can still remember how my brother screamed when they placed the seal. He screamed just like Neji. I felt like crying. After they placed the seal on Neji, I kept apologizing, trying to think of a way to make up for not trying harder to avoid this conundrum. All my brother and Neji asked were to watch over Hinata to make sure she would grow up happy. During that time, the hidden cloud village came to visit to establish an alliance between us. They tried to kidnap Hinata that night to experiment on her to see how the Byakugan worked. Luckily he failed and I killed the kidnapper, which unfortunately turned out to be the representative of the cloud village. The other representatives were outraged and wanted my life to repay for the one they lost. The Hyuga elders didn't want me to go and decided to send my brother in my place, but I denied until my brother knocked me out. When I woke up, I explained everything to Neji and I couldn't stop crying over my brother's death. I begged Neji to forgive me, but all he asked was to watch over Hinata as my brother did for me to honor his memory. Then they forced me to abolish our clan alliance with the Namikaze clan, said Hiashi. Wait, isn't that your clan, Foxy-kun? Said Kira. You must be the Kyuubi. Hey, Minato was right all along, said Hiashi. What do you mean? Asked Sasuke. Well, you see, Minato and I were good friends. When we both became head of our clans, we decided to make a clan alliance. When our wives were pregnant, we discovered I would have a girl and Minato would have a boy. So we decided that along with our clan alliance, our children would be married if they wished to. If one of our children disagreed with this, then the marriage is terminated, but not the alliance, explained Hiashi. Hinata hugged Naruto, feeling happy that the entire time she was engaged to her crush as Naruto hugged back. I see that we made the right choice in having the marriage, said Hiashi, making the two teens blush. Anyways, when the Kyuubi attacked, Minato saw how she, was behaving strangely, almost like a cornered animal fighting for its life. When you were sealed, the Hyuga elders saw Naruto nothing more than a pest and a demon like the rest of the villagers. That's why they abolished the clan alliance, thinking that Naruto would destroy and taint the Hyuga name, said Hiashi. What's more, they thought Hinata was too weak to be an heiress and wanted to disown her and place the seal on her as well. That's when I had enough and decided that I would never have my daughter suffer what my brother and Neji did. So I convinced the elders to place Hinata on a strict training schedule, which only hurt my heart seeing my daughter suffer with my own hands, because some ancient relics could never understand what it means to feel pain. Then one night during my late studying, I came across an ancient scroll about our rules, and it stated that the head of the clan can abolish the elders, but it can only be done once the head has been newly established as a fifth decree. Once the first decree has been established by the head, and it's not to re-establish the Hyuga elders, then the head cannot establish new elders, said Hiashi. So you see, I've been pushing you and Hanabi hard to protect you from the corruption of the Hyuga elders. I hope you can forgive me, said Hiashi. Of course, father, I can never hate you. If you did it to protect us, then you did it out of love, said Hinata, carrying Hanabi snuggling into her sister's embrace like a child to its mother. At least something good came out of this ordeal. Now that you and Naruto are engaged again, I can re-establish our alliance, forcing the Hyuga elders to accept no matter what. Speaking of which, can I borrow you camera, Sarutobi-sama? Asked Hiashi. Of course, but may I ask why? Said the confused Hokage. Well, how many times do you get to tell a bunch of Hyuga elders that they have no choice but to accept the reality of things no matter how much they hated it? Their reaction would be hilarious, said Hiyashi. Everyone pictured the reaction of the Hyuga elders, thinking they would have a heart attack, or have a shock face since they were so stuck up. Everyone laughed at the mental images. Ha, ha, ah. All right Hiyashi, you can borrow it as long as I get a copy, said the Hokage, wiping away a teardrop.